Hello and welcome to Oneindia. I am your host Ria, and today we are discussing a very critical issue that has once again gripped Delhi NCR, and it is the rising air pollution. As winter approaches, the air quality starts worsening, raising health alarms across the region. And with the AQI levels skyrocketing, and we just recorded 400 number. What exactly is causing this hazardous pollution, and what can be done to tackle it? To answer all these pressing questions, we are joined today by Shambhavi Shukla, who is the Program Manager for Air Pollution at the Center for Science and Environment. Shambhavi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Shambhavi, let's just dive right in. As the cold weather sets in, we often hear alarming reports about the rise in the air pollution level. So, can you give us an overview of the current air quality situation in Delhi NCR?
So, see, what is happening is right now the pollution is now going to the very poor and the poor category, and the pollution is increasing. This is the normal phenomena that we see every year that happens in Delhi and, of course, in other regions close to Delhi. So, this is a common phenomena. But then, what is like happening right now, especially in winters, what happens is with the onset of winter, as soon as the temperature starts to drop, there is like other meteorological factors such as wind speed, which is very less in Delhi right now, and also the mixing height, the boundary layer, it also comes down. So then there is lesser space for pollutants to disperse.
Right.
So then, if pollutants are not getting dispersed, they're not moving outside Delhi. And also with festivals coming in, all the festivals are falling in October right now this year. So there is a congestion problem that happens. Like the traffic intensity is very high right now when we see it for Delhi. So that is how like the pollution is changing. The pollution has gone from moderately polluted category to very poor since last 2 days.
Right, true. So my follow-up question to you is the CAC. It has been actively involved in raising awareness and advocating for the policy changes when it comes to air pollution. So, what initiative your organization is currently working on to combat the air pollution, particularly in Delhi NCR?
So what happens is right now, like as an organization, if I talk about,
Mhm.
we are continuously doing public advocacy, as you said, rightly said. We are doing that, and of course, whenever required, we try to engage a lot of like we try to create a lot of public awareness through our press briefings and all, through which we can make people aware in simple languages what is happening right now with the current situation of air pollution and how this can be remediated. And also, it gives out a clear message to the government as well that what actions can you take. So, right now, we have already seen that the graded response action plan is in place right now. And yesterday, only I think the GRAP 2 measures are in place right now. The CAQM has implemented GRAP 2. But then, when you look at the measures that are present in under GRAP 2, these are all enforcement measures, and this should be applicable throughout the year and not just especially during winters when the winters are setting in.
Right.
So if you're looking at it at an action level, so then ये सारे actions can be taken place like throughout the year. कि अगर आपको check करना है whether the construction activities are doing their work rightly, they're not creating dust, they are not creating chaos, there is control of traffic congestion on the road, then public transport should be planned in a way that people are given such connectivity at their end so that automatically people shifts from their private vehicles to public transport.
Right. Very rightly said, actually. So now I would want to shift this focus to, the people who are getting affected, right? Which is us living in the Delhi NCR. And there is a group like the children, or we can even say the elderlies, or especially with the pre-existing health conditions, right? These are the ones who are very much vulnerable groups. So, what are some of the long-term health implications people should be aware of that is being caused due to the air pollution, and how can they keep themselves protected, or the measures, self precautionary measures that they can take?
So there are n number of studies which have actually given proof that air pollution is actually impacting the health of not just elderly and children, but everyone right now,
Everyone right now.
because like the pollution levels that we see on the record, and there are boards displaying pollution levels, these are the ambient levels. But then what we are breathing is much higher, and the exposure is much higher. So immediately the impact that happens on people is the breathing issues that they encounter. So they have asthma, bronchitis, then other COPD, like the heart diseases. It aggravates those things. And especially for kids and elderly, where they have a weaker immunity. And also with the kids, what happen is they have a growing lungs. So
Yeah.
they tend to inhale much more air than a normal adult. So they are inhaling much more pollutant than we are doing. So that is the reason they are continuously like over the years, we have seen that the number of respiratory cases particularly has increased a lot. And also when we talk about different kinds of pollutant, so especially during winters, so there are two kinds of particles. One is PM 2.5 and PM 10. PM 2.5 are the smaller particles, and PM 10 are the bigger particles. So with the smaller particles, what happens is as soon as you breathe in the air, the bigger particles PM 10 tends to stay up to lungs only.
Okay.
बट देन व्हाट हैपेंस विद पीएम 2.5 इज वो लंग से आगे भी बढ़ जाता है, एंड इट गोज इनटू मिक्सेस विद द ब्लड स्ट्रीम.
Yes.
सो देन लाइक वो उसका impact is very high on the health. And not just that, like even with the pregnant women, what we see is जो unborn baby है, the placenta, it also gets impacted because of high level of pollution. But then that needs to be accounted, like all the planning that we have, all the actions that we are taken, everything should be linked to health as well, because health is the direct impact that we can see of the increasing air pollution.
Right, right. See, we have talked about what is causing these air pollution. We have talked about, your initiative, and of course, the government is have also implemented GRAP too. And in coming days, they'll be implementing furthermore campaigns or the rules to combat this. Then we have also talked about the people who are facing these problem primarily, or who are more exposed to these. Uh, Now, my last question to you is, Shambhavi, what can be done as of now? Because of course it's a very long process, as you also mentioned earlier, that this has to be taken care of from the very beginning of the year, be it the construction, be it the controlling of the vehicle emission and everything. It has to be done from the very beginning, but since it is not being done, so what can be done now? Because of course we can say that we are living in gas chamber as of now. So what measures can be taken from the government of or individual to help people of Delhi NCR in this adverse weather condition?
So, see, I would like to bring this point up also, because Delhi has done a lot of actions, and there is definitely a 7% decrease that we see since 2019 in pollution levels. But then Delhi again needs 60% reduction in its particulate pollution level to reach the standard. And standard is something which, like, in which you can easily breathe. So that is the amount of pollution that we need to reduce right now from our current levels. And in terms of action, when we talk about sectorally, so when we say waste burning, so there is a 25% area in Delhi itself where the system of collection, segregation, and management of waste is not happening. That doesn't lie under the purview of the municipal boundaries. So that is the kind of waste that is additionally being generated and not being monitored. So when the waste is usually dumped on the roadside, what people does is usually they burn it off to get rid of it. So
Mhm.
that is the major problem that we are facing. With the vehicles, we have seen that like Delhi was the first one to implement BS6, coming with BS6 fuel also. Then there was the CNG program, the electric vehicles are coming in. But then what we are seeing right now is there is a problem of congestion that is rising. Like the number of vehicles that are getting added on the road is very high. So if we talk about, like, with a 20 million population in of Delhi, we can see that there are 6.4 million of vehicles which are being registered in a year. So that's a lot of number that is adding up to on the road. When we see on the road, so a bus usually like a bus carries around 30 to 40
Right.
passengers. But then at the same time, a car is just carrying 1 to 2 people. So then, like the 90% of the road space is actually occupied by the private vehicles, and just which is carrying just the 10% of the population actually. So that needs to be changed. Our roads have to be designed well. And also when we see industry sector, so of course Delhi has brought in the clean fuel policy, and all the regulated industries, the registered industries that are present, that has already converted to clean fuel. But then there is also some unregulated uh, industries in the neighbors of Delhi, which have actually not converted to clean fuel. So that is also causing a problem. And especially like for this year, when we see, like we put usually the blame on the stubble burning. But then till last day, like till yesterday, the contribution of stubble burning for last 10 days was less than 1%. So this is all the, like whatever is being generated is mostly the local sources. So we need to curb pollution at our own, like at our own city level. And also when, so there was this IITM and Suffer study that has come, like that publishes data on the real time monitoring. And among the local sources, it has been pointed out that more than 50% of the pollution is coming from the transport sector, the Delhi transport sector. So that, like that should be the focus on, and like that is how the action should be done. Like the government should be very aggressive in taking down actions, not just pinpointing, like I mentioned in GRAP 2, like these are just the enforcement measures, and this should be like a year round thing and not just a winter thing. So like we need to be very aggressive in our enforcement system. So this is the problem where we are lacking right now. And also it's just not about Delhi problem, because pollution doesn't follow any specific boundary
True.
or something. So it's the whole Indo-Gangetic problem where different states also have to work together to curb down the pollution, because like even for Delhi, there are other sources around Delhi from other cities and states which is coming to Delhi. But then at the same time, Delhi is also contributing to their sources. So we need to work also at a regional level so that this pollution problem and the gas chamber problem can be resolved.
I'll be taking your last 2 cents on the same topic, Shambhavi. Can we say that as of now, self precautionary measures and awareness is the only hope of Delhi people and the people living in the Delhi NCR region to combat this situation that we are all in? Because, of course, bigger the problem, the bigger the time it takes to, eliminate that problem. So, can we say this that as of now, the people, all they can do is take precautionary measures and just spread the awareness and take their own ownership in helping and cleaning the environment?
Yeah, so one is, of course, the precautionary measure that you're saying. But then the other thing at an individual level, what we can do is, if like around our area only, if we can look up to like whatever waste burning is happening or whatever illegal activities that is happening, if we can keep a tap on that, and we can make, actually we have a portal that exists where we can put a complaint,
Oh,
and that complaint goes to the Central Pollution Control Board or the other respective government departments. So that can be resolved. So we have to be vigilant enough to see what is happening around us. And also on the other side, what as people can do is, if they can switch from their own private transport to public transport, if they stop bringing their own cars and two-wheelers, and they can just use the buses or the metro system, so then it would definitely reduce the congestion and the vehicular pollution that is happening. And also there are small tips that people can of course do at home, is not use unnecessary electricity and all. So that is, of course, that's present.
well, Shambhavi, I think this is a very huge topic and very debatable topic, and it can keep going on for hours and hours because the matter is so huge, and every year we are facing this. But we are very delighted that you took some time out and had a conversation with us on this very important topic that is the need of the hour. Also, thank you for joining us on One India, and thank you for sharing your insights. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Don't miss out. Log on to oneindia.com for more updates.